and we're journeying together. You were called to be in relationship. The Bible, throughout the epistles, the New Testament, Paul talks about us as a body. Colossians 1:18, you don't need to go there, I'll read it to you. Colossians 1:18, Christ is also the head of the church, which is his body. He's the beginning, supreme over all who rise from the dead, so he's the first in everything. Christ is the head over the body, which is the church. You're a part of the team. Colossians 3:15, let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts, for as members of one body. If you're on a team, you got to work together. How many of you know cranky people? How many of you know cranky Christians don't get along with anybody else? That, my friends, is a sin. Because God has called us to be in relationship and connection and in teamwork with each other. Every good mission has a leader. Every good mission has a team. And every good mission has the defined parameters of the mission. The defined parameters of the mission. Matthew chapter 16. This is a great story. Jesus is traveling along with his disciples. And he stops, and Jesus has the ability at the right time, at the right place, at the right moment, to ask the questions that cut through everything else, grab attention, and clarify a situation. And that's exactly what he does. Starting in verse 13. He's walking along with the disciples. I see him stopping perhaps to talk with them and kind of just sit down and we're going to have a moment together. And he says to his disciples, verse 13, Who do people say that the Son of Man is? Well, they replied, some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, others say Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. John the Baptist had been beheaded. He was a great prophet that had come to foretell Jesus was coming. He'd been beheaded. Oh, that's him, he's back. That's what some people say. Some people say Elijah. Many people at that time believed that before the Messiah came, Elijah would be resurrected, would come out and foretell the Christ coming. Others, Jeremiah, one of the other prophets. And then Jesus asked the money question. Notice how Jesus leads them in. Then he asked them, but who do you say that I am? All right, that's what everybody else says. Good job. Now, let's cut down to the chase. Who do you say I am? And Peter takes the lead. And in a moment of divine insight says, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Now, we're used to thinking of Jesus in God terms. But this is a guy that they watched walk, talk, sleep, take naps, eat lunch. They hung out with. This is a massive statement to look at somebody and say, you're God. You're it, man. You're God. You're the Messiah that we've been waiting for thousands of years. You're him. And Jesus replied, you're blessed, Simon, son of John, because my Father in heaven has revealed this to you. You did not learn this from any human being. Now I say to you that you are Peter, which means rock. And on this rock I will build my church. And all the powers of hell will not conquer. Now, this is a little fun word game that Jesus is playing. Peter, rock, moving, small, rolling. Rock, large, permanent. You're a rock, but on the big rock of what you just testified, that I'm the Messiah. I'll build my church. And the Greek actually says, New Living says the powers of hell. The Greek says a more literal translation would say, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. Now here's what's interesting. Gates don't move. They swing open, but they don't move. Gates can't prevail against you except to keep someone in or out. And Christ throws down this mandate as your mission is you're storming the gates of hell.